Hello, comic book fans, and welcome to another exciting edition of Cammy's Comic Corner. I'm your host, as always, Cammy. This episode has been brought to you by Valkyrie Squadron. From the creator of the hit webcomic Marsh Rocket comes a new science fiction epic featuring babes, bots, and big guns. Valkyrie Squadron, updating every Tuesday and Thursday at www.valkyriesquadron.com. And be sure to follow the creator, Jules Rivera, and the comic itself on Twitter, at Jules Rivera, at Valkyrie Squad, to get those updates you oh so desperately need. So now on to the pick of the week. From Vertigo this week, we have Sweet Tooth number 21, written and drawn by Jeff Lemire. Now we have a bear encounter from last issue. It's like, oh shit, there's a gigantic bear right over there, right behind Gus. So Jeopard feels the need, to defend Gus against the bear, and so they start going at it. But after shooting the bear in the eye, the bear's not so pleased with that, and so he sideswipes Jeopard, and he's about to go for Gus, but he's kind of confused. And the thing about this issue that I really like is the thought bubbles that go along with it. It's just pictures in the thought bubble, not just like, what is that guy? But the bear's confused that, okay, is Gus a human, or is he a deer? He has no idea. So he takes Gus back to his cave as Jeopard's recovering and trying to figure out what happened, how he fell down so easily. Meanwhile, we have Lucy and the girls talking to Walter about the Project Evergreen mystery, and Walter's trying to explain how he came upon the dam, how it was already, fully stocked and ready to go. He doesn't know where they went or why they have the cameras up. He's assuming because of Haggerty and Haggerty's crew, but he's just been, he's not looking a gift horse in the mouth, and the girls are more than welcome to stay there with them. Meanwhile, the action continues between the bear and Jeopard. Jeopard comes back for round 2, and this time he stabs the bear in the eye. And after this whole incident, Jeopard and Gus are finally starting to connect a little bit before, because, they had their differences because of the whole, oh, you abandoned me thing. It's like, oh, come on, get over it. Yeah, whatever. But at the end, we see Lucy starting to bleed a little. So we don't know if she's infected, if something bad's coming around the corner, but obviously she knows something's wrong, and that makes it even much more intriguing. It was a very beautiful issue, lots of good art in this issue, and like I said before, the word bubbles and just storytelling without words, that's always, a great way to express things. And so you have Project Evergreen being explained, but then the whole fight, it doesn't need sound effects or noise. It was a very, very good issue. If you haven't been picking up Sweet Tooth, the first couple of trades are out right now. Go catch up. It's well worth your time, that's for sure. Now on to the Fast Five. First up from Marvel, we have Avengers Academy number 13. Now this is the big prom issue! And much like prom, you have a bunch of teenage superheroes / villains with raging hormones all in the same place. And just like any high school prom, you get drama, you get hookups that you weren't expecting, and then you get that old guy who thinks he's a cool DJ, kind of, he's kind of a cool DJ. He's kind of past his prime is what I'm saying. But we have Tigra hooking up with Hank. We have Butterball has an appearance, and I love Butterball. That one issue that was all dedicated to him back in Avengers Initiative, that was great. But anyway, we have Hazmat and Metal. We have Vale and Stryker. Everyone's hooking up. You got fights. You got kids being kids. It was a very entertaining issue. Christos Gage obviously knows what us young people say. And also, Avengers Academy, the Giant Size issue came out this week, so it was a very good week to be an Avengers Academy fan. So you have tons of fun in this issue specifically, and it makes you love this book even more. Hands down, great stuff. Next up from DC, we have Jonah Hex number 67. Now in this issue, we get a kind of a different Jonah Hex. Apparently, there's a bounty on his head by the local town sheriff because he's been killing women and children. That doesn't really sound like our Jonah. Well, turns out the Jonah has an imposter, someone who wants to get back and soil his name and eventually get him killed. Jonah tracks down this guy to Yellow Creek, which is infected by this pox virus, and the whole doppelganger said, like, you killed my dad, so now I'm going to die from the pox, you're going to have to burn my body, therefore destroying the evidence that I ever existed, and then you're going to have this hanging over your head forever. Well, the sheriff finally gets there. Jonah explains that, hey, this guy's a doppelganger. Doppelganger says, no, kill us both if you're not sure. And so apparently Jonah figures out there's a reward for his head, so he asks, well, how much? And that right there tells the sheriff, that's the real Jonah Hex. Only Jonah Hex really cares about money. And at the end of the issue, we get Jonah Hex enjoying a nice empty bar, all this free alcohol, and not a single soul in the place to bother him. It's a very good issue. You had Jordi Bernay's art on this, and I think he just does a fantastic Hex. Gray and Palmiotti at their finest, as usual. Next up from Image, we have Gladstone School for World Conquerors #1. Now, this is a new series from Image. Image, again, throwing out all these #1 issues at you to get you hooked. And this one, it hooked me, let me tell you. We have the history of the school, founded by this one kind of failed magician villain called Gladstone, and he tried to take the playbook from the most popular and most successful villain, Ironsides, and Ironsides catches him, turns him into stone. He's a statue in front of the school now, but he liked the idea of having the school for gifted youngsters, only gifted youngsters who want to rule the world and make everyone rue the day that they came into power. And so you have, it's kind of like Hogwarts for supervillains, and that's a really cool concept because you always see, you know, oh, all of us teenagers are getting together, we're going to form the X-Men or the Young Avengers and stuff like that. But no, in this instance, you're trying to figure out how to be a badass, whether it's like, you know, oral presentation on your victory speech and whatnot. Well, we get introduced to a lot of cool characters. We have Kid Nefarious, we have Martian Jones, Mummy Girl, Ghost Girl, the Skull Brothers, and the Skull Brothers in particular I really like because everyone's talking shit about their mom for turning against everybody, and so that kind of, you know, irks them a little, and they can back up what they be dishing out. But it was a very cool little cliffhanger. Apparently, it sounds almost like wrestling in this community because you see Mr. Greensleeves, who was a big villain at one point, but he had his character go into retirement, as he says, and the kids are like, go into retirement? What's that mean? And so you think that it might just be a big act with the heroes. We're not sure yet, but there's some secret that we're not exposed to yet. I'm sure it's going to be in the next issue, but I like the art, like the story, it has promise. I suggest you go pick it up before it costs $30 on eBay. Next up from Dark Horse, we have Axe Cop, Bad Guy Earth #3. Now, it would be hard for me to describe what exactly happens in this title, but all you need to know is if you've been a fan of Axe Cop, both the webcomic or the start of this series, you're going to like this finale. There is so much wild stuff going on, but some of the highlights are the Axe Cop team. They get their own doppelgangers, the bad guy Axe Cop team, like Chainsaw Cop, and they go at it. The bad guys form one big bad guy, and so the good guys have to go into a squishing machine to become one big good guy. They start fighting. Axe Cops becomes Axe Cop Lava Bowl at one point, and then it's like no more mutants. Well, it's no more axes in this world. And so we go back to a character we met in the first issue, Mr. Cup. He has a blade. Axe Cop takes a blade and a bone from his the villain that he just defeated, combines it, makes an axe, and then he becomes the president of all presidents. And his first order of business, he prays for everyone in the world to poop his pants except for him. And he finds it so funny. It's just the imagination that Malachi has when just coming up with these concepts, and then Ethan just killing it on art. This is a very good team. I had so much fun with this miniseries, and hopefully this will entice more people to go check out the webcomic, go get the first graphic novel, because let me tell you, you're going to have fun. It's just wildly insane fun, and that's what you need more in your comics nowadays. It's just, you don't have to think about it. You just go with the flow, and enjoy it for what it's worth. And finally this week from Marvel, we have Heroes for Hire #6. So we have Paladin up to his neck in ninjas with bone swords and weaponry in this issue. Misty is no longer, you know, under the influence of Puppet Master, and they're trying to get more clients and let them know that the people that they hire, like, no, that was just a big rumor, that never happened. We do need some heroes. Hero, are you for hire? Spider-Man makes an appearance in this issue because he helps save Paladin's ass from the ninjas. And Paladin doesn't want to do a team-up with Spider-Man because he just can't stand the banter, and that's what Spider-Man does. He just banters with you. But hey, he has to fill in Spider-Man about the situation with the Atlantean narcotic Hook and how he's trying to stop the shipment from reaching its destination. And, you know, Misty and Spider-Man talk. Spider-Man's going, well, I don't need the money. And then Misty has to explain, well, sometimes heroes like to do it, you know, out of the goodness of their heart, just to give back to the community, yada, yada, yada. Well, we get a surprise appearance from Batroc the Leaper in this issue. He kicks Paladin's ass by, you know, jumping around, doing his whole little Monty Python, the Holy Grail accent. And at the end, Spider-Man has to go on the clock now because obviously Paladin broke a rib. He wasn't expecting Batroc the Leaper to come out from nowhere. And it was just a very enjoyable issue. Brad Walker's art on this is fantastic. It's if you like Abbott and Lanning doing superheroes in general, throw in Walker and you got yourself quite the book, let me tell you. I had fun with this issue, you will too, and I can see this being a nice little hardcover on someone's shelf, that's for sure. Well, comic book fans, that does it this week for Cammy's Comic Corner. If you want more Cammy's Comic Corner goodness, head on over to www.cammyscomiccorner.com. Let me tell you what I put out during the week. Sunday, you got the weekly review show. That's video. On Wednesdays, you have Geeky Talkie, the audio spinoff of Cammy's Comic Corner. And on Fridays, you have Cammy's favorite covers of the week. And then at the beginning of the month, you have the Book of the Month selection. And at the end of the month, you have the Top Shelf selection. And let me tell you, you're going to get your Book of the Month soon. It's not going to be 15 days after the start of the month, but I have a good one planned. You do not want to miss it. Once again, this episode has been brought to you by Valkyrie Squadron. From the creator of the hit webcomic March Rocket comes a new science fiction epic spectacular featuring babes, bots, and big guns, the 3 Bs that every guy likes. Valkyrie Squadron, updating every Tuesday and Thursday at www.valkyriesquadron.com. And be sure to follow both Jules Rivera, the creator, at Jules Rivera, and follow the comic itself at Valkyrie Squad on Twitter. Don't miss an update. Retweet it to your friends, that's for sure. Big thanks for being a sponsor. So that does it for this issue of Cammy's Comic Corner. I do it in issues now, only video issues. It's on the iPad too. Go check it out. You probably don't have one, so don't even worry about it. I have been your host, Cammy. Now, if you excuse me, I've got some more missions to accomplish with Secret SEAL Team 6. That's actually not the name. We're actually kind of the spinoff. We're kind of like the sci-fi movie of Secret SEAL Team 6. We have to go hunt Bin Laden's doubles. We get kind of the shitty missions, but someone's got to do it. Because it's all about patriotism or something. Good night!